The reality is that each of us suffer. Typically, he reminds me of my relationship with him, or sometimes I've had just a picture of him on the cross and his suffering, that he understands, that he knows. It hurts to let go of control because it means I don't get to guide the hands of the surgeon. Perhaps it's my rejection to the premise of pain that tries to hold me back from the promise of restoration. It's really hard being present with pain. It's really hard being present in suffering. If you're like me, I'm a futurist. So when I'm going through something, it's really hard for me to see into the future that, oh, everything's going to be okay. If you're someone who's like super present in the moment, I think it's almost even harder because all you can see is the pain and the suffering. Whether that pain is loss of a family member or ongoing physical battle or financial or in your workplace or abuse or betrayal, the reality is that each of us suffer. I've never met one person who hasn't gone through suffering. The battle is still in trusting the one sent by the Father in the midst of the suffering. The questions begin to arise. You could have healed them, but you didn't. Why didn't you answer my prayer when you could have? And very quickly we open the door to bitterness, resentment, and judgment towards the Lord. And it can try to take root in our heart. We begin putting God on probation of our full trust in the midst of our pain. But it's really important that we stop the comparison of our pain to one another. I don't know about you, but I can't think of a single time in my life when I've brought pain or suffering to the Lord and he starts telling me about one of your sufferings. Typically, he reminds me of my relationship with him, or sometimes I've had just a picture of him on the cross and his suffering, that he understands, that he knows. But it's really important to, in relationship with the Lord, allow him to speak to our areas of pain. Sometimes it's because we're angry with God. Sometimes we blame ourselves or others. Sometimes it's because we know that the Lord's healing actually brings more pain. So I want to share with you something very vulnerable because I like boasting in weakness so that his grace and power can be perfected in my life. And we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and word of our testimony. So this is a journal entry from 2020 when I was going through one of the most painful times in my life, just internally. Maybe it looked fine on the outside, but the Lord was doing a lot. And this is what I wrote, and I just want to share it with you because it's something I felt the Lord revealed to my heart. It's called Sometimes Healing Hurts. It hurts to let go of control because it means I don't get to guide the hands of the surgeon. It means I must exercise trust even in areas where I feel betrayed. As the surgeon moves with expert precision, the pain actually increases as the diseased areas are cut away. When I trust Yeshua to work on the deep recesses of my heart, his light penetrates areas I couldn't see were dying. Perhaps it's my rejection to the premise of pain that tries to hold me back from the promise of restoration. If we keep our eyes fixed firmly on our Messiah, fear cannot exist in the same place because his perfect love casts out all fear. Sometimes healing hurts because sanctification is a process. But the beauty of it all is that Yeshua is in, and he's in all the way, and he's in all the way for the long haul. He continues to work daily, moment by moment, in the art of restoration, with each surgery bringing deeper levels of healing and each procedure bringing new depths of trust. Sometimes the healing hurts momentarily, but his healing is complete and eternal. And I just feel like for some of us today, we need to allow the Lord to heal some areas of pain in our heart that are keeping us from intimacy with Yeshua. I think there's some areas where we've put the Lord on probation. And I believe that our relationship with Yeshua, whatever is in that place of intimacy, pours out into all of our other relationships too. So if I'm putting the one who's fully trustworthy on probation, or I'm saying, I'm going to put you on test, Lord, because I'm not sure if you're going to hurt me again. How am I handling all of my other relationships with other people, and we're all flawed? So I feel like there's yet again the Lord inviting us into a deeper healing today in his presence. Yeshua meets us in our suffering. We know he never leaves us or forsakes us.